4.3 gigahertz overclock already built into it. It does it automatically. It's pretty nice. Comes with a really cool cooler too. Tetra, can you hear me? If you can, please bring pizza pronto. And then also, Tetra, feel free to join the Discord too. This is a processor. You just gotta lift this. You know, Domino's is better up here.
Alright, 30, I'm in, bud.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna kill this music real quick and then I'm gonna get to installing the processor.
Alright.
Say something real quick. Alright, there you go. Alright, so this is your processor, man. And the way that you tell how you install it is there's a little gold corner. And then on the motherboard over here, there's a matching little white dot in that corner.
I'm way behind on the stream.
Oh yeah? It's pretty. And then you never push on them, ever at all. You'll bend shit, you just set it in there. If it doesn't fall in perfectly, then you just lift it up. So there you go. Also, I'm going to include all the stickers off on the side. You can choose to do that to your PC or not. It's up to you, man. I have some in mind. Next I'm going to do the NVMe M.2. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive, but it's an SSD. This is the same one that's in my wife's computer. And you're also kind of just a bit low, and I have you turned up pretty high.
Oh, okay. You know what? That was... There we go. Cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Alright, so So this entire thing right here, it's actually smaller than the RAM. But this is a 1 terabyte drive.
That's ridiculous.
It's pretty cool, man. I really enjoy it. They're super quick too, bro. Super quick. Your Windows will boot in like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds.
I spent the better part of the afternoon here, like, yeah, getting intimate with that particular motherboard, its specs.
Overclocking potential.
Yup. Yeah, that was actually, I missed it earlier, and I missed it when you were talking. I was just getting my audio all tuned in when you mentioned it earlier. With, what class and gen processor were you using for this?
It's a Ryzen 7 2700X. So it's a 4.2 or 4.3 gigahertz self-turbo, and you can still overclock beyond that if you would like. This motherboard is, the only difference between this is mine is the Gaming Pro Carbon, and yours is the Gaming Pro Max, but it's still the X470, so it's really the same shit.
Yeah.
But that's the hard drive. That's a 1 terabyte hard drive, and they sell these in 2 gig sticks now. I still have a 3.5 inch drive on the side that I'll install in the case here in a bit. But since you're here, my favorite thing about this processor is the cooler that came with it. It's the reason that I got mine, but I upgraded to a all-in-one liquid cooler, and I would have an extra one of these, but I put it in somebody else's case. This is beauty, and it's a stock cooler. All of this lights up, this ring lights up, and it's beautiful. You can control it all individually. It's, yeah.
Very, very nice.
But it is an 8-core processor, and the one above this is the Ryzen 9, which is a 12 or 16 core, depending on what generation and version you get, but that's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't imagine anything that I could run that would require a 12-core processor.
No.
Let alone, don't give me that much power unless you want me to get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a car that you think you can outrun the cops in, what do? You try to outrun the cops.
Yeah, I've outrun the cops a couple times in the work van, man. It don't take much. But this is another really nice part. This is DDR4, 3200 megahertz. It's not
that's Trident. That's
G-Skill. Trident Z RGB. So this does light up. I know you said you didn't really need it, but I mean it's literally like $5 more for the shit that lights up, and it looks real cool when it does. So fuck it.
That's what we obviously got a thing of RGB going on here. I was looking at the manufacturer site, and of course the most highly compatible RAMs with it are like the fucking most expensive ones, the fucking Corsairs and shit.
Yeah, the 3600 megahertz is actually prime territory. You're getting real good for any Ryzen processor.
As long as I clock the 3660, we're 3600.
Yeah.
Everything is harmony.
I believe they do, and even if they don't, that's what this is literally the same shit I'm running, just not RGB. I'm running G-Skill rip jaws.
Okay.
So, in these you will...
those things look slick.
Yeah, these things are really, really nice. It's got a brushed finish on it. They're nice.
Well, and yeah, and I was looking, I'll probably end up getting another people back with the max for the,
Yeah. I'll put them both back on this. You just push till it clicks close after you open it, man, and it's done. It honestly doesn't leave a whole lot left.
Are you using parallel slots in this or staggering slots for the memory?
Staggering slots, and it tells you exactly which DIMM slot to use right here. It's super small. I'll see if I can get even close to it.
Okay.
Right here where my finger is, it tells you which DIMM slot to use first. It's really hard to see. My camera's kind of shitty. But some of them don't. Usually it's just numbered. Well, it's A2 and B2. But to take advantage of the dual channel option on here, you have to stagger them. That pretty much just leaves installing the cooler right now. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I was noticing about that board. Is everything one of the more comprehensively labeled on-board boards.
Yeah, there are a couple boards that have better options on some things. Like if you get higher end ASUS and stuff, it'll have like this has easy debug LEDs, but they'll have easy debug screens where it'll just display a code and then it tells you what it is real easily. This is just an LED. So I mean, it's really kind of like a unnecessary luxury, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just the debugging LEDs. It's a feature to have in there, so.
Alright, so I'm just gonna put the cooler on. It mounts with this shit right here, and it literally just like snaps on with a little bit of tension.
Yeah, I wanted to watch you install this because I'm looking at those heat sink counters on there. Yeah. I want to see this thing.
You always gotta try not to use an uneven amount of pressure, even though it's really, really hard not to. There you go. And then you just flip it over. There you go. And then this is going to be routed to the CPU fan, which is just this little port right here. Probably just hide this shit in here.
See, messing with that, trying to get it in.
There you go, man. That's the motherboard basically done. Hell yeah, man. Alright, I'm gonna put this off to the side and I'm gonna break out the case. 1 second.
Alright.
Okay. How are you, man?
I'm good. I just updated all of my stream stuff after you told me the one game. Need to find some sources for the Be Right Back stream and stuff, but
Yeah.
it'll come.
Yeah, my 1 month of Prime is almost up. I just wanted to see what it was like and get a little inspiration for what we could make or come up with on our own, you know?
Oh, I didn't even use Prime to do it. I just did it all through Streamlabs.
Yeah, I have Streamlabs OBS, and then I just got the Prime for it. So I paid $20 for 1 month and then just canceled it just to see what it was like.
Oh, I see.
Almost there. Just gonna wait for Tachi to come back real quick.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm here. I'm good. We're good to go.
Okay, cool. Alright, so this is the case. It's the black Corsair 220T RGB. So it's got 3 RGB Corsair fans in the front already pre-installed. This is gonna be fun to do. Give me just half a second.
Alright.
Give me just half a second for an angle here. Alright. There's your case. Here's the front of it. And since you live where you live and you have, well, you're in the desert, you know, and there's a lot of dust and shit. This just pops right off the front like that with these little tabs. It's real simple. And then this just pulls right out of there like that. You clean your dust filter, you're good to go. It's held in there by magnets. There's also one down here for your power supply. And then there's also one up top here. I'm just going to take off for now.
No more prying apart parts. Clean it.
It's not very difficult to clean anymore, especially with cases with a bunch of dust filters. If you spend $100 on a case, you're going to get something for sure that is going to have dust filters and like be a pretty decent product. I mean, you just clean it and then put it back. Tempered glass side. They had one with a tinted option, but then you'd never be able to see what's going on in here.
Legit.
Here's those LED fans pre-installed in the front.
I'm loving some of the features on that, like the USB 3.0 straight pass through to the chipset. Like
Yep.
VR ready.
Yeah. And then all of these little hidey holes that you can stick the wires through. It makes it really nice when the case is finished, because it's not just like a wide open hole in the case, you know?
And I'm actually looking at that setup. I was liking it because like it would be so easy to just kind of like snake and braid some of the spare wires through those just decoratively.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hide it all in the back as well as I can. But while I'm back here in the back, this is the Corsair fan controller that is in. It's the main hub for the LED fans. So this is number 1 through 6, and you have to keep it in order. So if you have one fan in the back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you wire them in here that way, so that way when you set it to where it like fades through your case, it goes around in the right direction. If you switch them around, you can make it more custom, but it's all based off of that 1 through 6.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to figure that out on the other ones, because it had a little switch, but down was 1 and up was 6. Yeah, I thought that would be like 1, 2, you know, so. Yeah.
It's funny, I made the reference of, you know, getting under the hood, and there, sure enough, there's an alternator.
Yeah, no shit, right?
You're gonna have no excuse not to play Rust with us now.
Well, that's kind of one of the reasons that I was doing this, and then also Minecraft.
You're gonna hate me on games now.
Bro, this thing's gonna be quick. I mean, this processor, you're probably gonna be able to like edit and like render in the background while you're playing a game. I mean, like it's.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I'm getting.
No, what you're gonna be able to fucking achieve pro response time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only gonna be looking by my internet with this.
The one you're running 1080p setups, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually really good then. Because this graphics card is considered to be the 1080p king almost. Like there's a couple Asus that are better.
What are we running on the graphics on the GPU end?
Sorry for the crinkle. MSi 1660 Ventus OC.
Legit.
It's pretty decent, man. It was running my VR and 2 TVs and like all the streaming and everything like that, and it was only running at 45%.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to do everything you need, but it is also going to be your first upgrade.
Yeah. But that's still, I was on yeah, the MSI ones were on a list of good starters.
Yeah, and with the way it's going, man, there's going to be really competitive graphics cards for like $500 that, I mean, like, are like really fucking good, like better than $1,200 graphics cards right now. They're
This is a super good time to be a buyer.
Yeah. Well, in 6 months, because it's all hype right now, and it's too hype. You know, it's too much, man. All right. So this is where it kind of gets a little bit boring. I'm gonna do a little bit of cable management, install the power supply.
Oh, that's cool. Now, while you do a little bit of cable management, we have a time to discuss some stats. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, say come upgrade time. Considering I'm running that Ryzen 2700, would I be theoretically able to upgrade to RTX 3000 series?
Well, I mean, it's the same processor that I have, and that's exactly what I'm about to do. So, I mean, yeah. Like 100%. That's part of the reason I picked this one, or I wanted to get the Ryzen 5 3600, but it wasn't an X or anything, and it's also a 6-core, not an 8-core processor. So
yeah, you were explaining that they got that they have optimized threads on that 6-core, but
yeah,
but
it's a 6-core, and it's not overclockable, and it was literally $5 cheaper. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I think you should get the overclockable shit.
I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, keep that, especially since that particular board and this whole particular system is just so tuned. It's not. It's not even what it can be until it's overclocked.
Yeah, I take that back on the power supply. That's a lot of bullshit for right this second. I take that back. Let me just actually go ahead and ask you, do you want your power supply to draw air from inside of your case or from below your case?
Below.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's kind of hard. Yeah, I would say even though it's a little dusty around here, I would still say below.
Okay.
I was actually watching a video about airflow dynamics and mechanics, and there was it was basically talking about how sometimes, even though it's a little counterintuitive to think about drawing the air from in your case, sometimes just promoting more airflow in the case ends up helping all of the units overall, you know?
Yeah. That's kind of one of the reasons that, I mean, mine's in a separate compartment, so it doesn't even play into that factor. But, like, I've always considered...
Now, what would you recommend in this one? Because I do have my reservations about drawing from below. I mean, I know there's an air filter there, but there's a dust filter there, but you're familiar with this area.
Yeah.
The dust is like sediment. So would
I don't know, man. I think you could probably get away with running it from below, honestly.
okay, as opposed to from inside.
Yeah, because if I turn it over, it's going to be another fan drawing air from inside of the case to blow out, which will turn it from a neutral, slightly negative pressure environment to more of a positive pressure environment, and down there, I believe that'll be more of a mistake.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Now, let me see where these screws are, because they don't ever want to just be right there.
Yeah, and I'm glad we chose to do the colored fans up front and the LED strip in the case, because I didn't realize that the RAM was LED.
Oh yeah.
And the cooling fan was LED as well, so we're gonna have plenty of extra color like in the case.
Oh yeah, and it's all fully addressable and controllable. You can make it go to music, you can make it do whatever you want. having a bad day, make it, like, turn it off. You know what I mean?
I was showing my kids the case, you know,
Yeah.
and just how the RGB lighting will work inside. And my oldest runs into the other room and she's like, Luna, you gotta look at this. It's a fucking it's a cockroach disco.
That's funny, bro.
I said, you're right, isn't it? It is like a little disco for cockroaches.
Alright.
Bug clip.
So before this gets put in the motherboard, it's always hard to get this through up in the back corner. Let's see if I can get you a sight. Up in this back corner, this little hole right here is where I'm going to run this cable. This is the power for your motherboard, and it's really hard to get that connector through there as is, let alone once the motherboard's in there. So I just usually kind of run that through and just hide it out of the way so that way it's not in my way. Your 24 pin, it's pretty simple. Some of the other ones on the bottom I'm not going to do yet, but I am going to stash this in here so I can install the motherboard and everything now. This is actually where shit kind of gets real, you know?
Yep.
I'm going to check to see what screws go in these standoffs real quick. I have made the mistake of installing the wrong ones before, and I don't want to do that today.
Are you going to be removing the extra standoffs or leaving them in?
There actually are no extra standoffs these days. They have pre-installed ones, but all of the same exact amount, or they require 3 less, so you can just remove 3 or not use them because it's not that big, you know?
Okay.
They've actually gotten really good with a lot of this recently. That's how come I've taken such an interest in building again, because this is pretty simple and somebody really thought about this. Alright, so I always want to check to make sure that these are the right ones. Good to go, man. Alright, one sec. Alright, now's where I need a little bit of light. Oh, I'll just have to make do. just can't see it. Oh man, where'd it go?
So a little bit more on the features of this. I noticed the case is pretty streamlined in its movements on it. The two on the
You're kind of quiet, man. Sorry.
what's that?
You're kind of quiet. Sorry.
Oh. There we go. It's got the USB 3.1 on the top. Got the MP4 jack there. What about that other little button? What is that? I don't know. It just looks like a reload button. It doesn't look like a power button.
One sec. Let me get this screw out of here, man. Alright.
Yep.
So, wife actually has the same case. It's a reset button, an audio jack, two USB 3.0s, and a power button on the top.
Okay. Well, so it's just a reset button then.
Yeah. And then I did actually skip a really important step, which I'm really happy that I remembered right now, otherwise I'd have been kissed in about 20 minutes.
What's that?
Your I/O shield. 1 second. And I left it out on the desk this whole time right here so that way I would remember. So this actually just clips into the back here. Hold on, let's see if I make that thing focus. There, it just clipped in the back. When I move out of the way, it'll focus. There you go.
Yeah, the port shield. Yeah, the port face.
Ooh, alright. So in this thing goes again. Because you never can put a motherboard in only once, man. It's always twice or three times.
Yeah, and it's like going to the store, and you know, like you can't just walk out the door and go to the store. No, you have to go back in 2 or 3 times. Yeah, call it.
Every time you think to yourself it's going quick, you're screwing yourself.
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to go with this one and see if it works for now.
And then is that a full-size board?
Yeah. Alright, there's that thing. At least it's not behind the motherboard. Yeah, it's it's an ATX.
Full-size.
Yeah, it's a AMD ATX. Man, that screws on. Alright, there we go. We got this one, man. The programs that are going to come on this are going to allow you to do very much advise doing some reading up before you do any of that.
Oh yeah. Already been
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, this particular model has a lot of just apparently good, really good really good settings pre-installed pretty much.
Yeah.
1 second overclocking, the game mode and game mode boost, which is basically boosts that all work together. So fortunately this will be, I'll be able to drive the train while I get a little bit more familiar with the details and the specifics and
Yeah.
some of the more fine-tuned frequency aspects and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't even had to overclock mine. It's still completely fine. It does it itself. There's a program, Core Temp, that actually monitors your core-by-core usage. It's pretty decent. Me? No, not me. Yeah, that cooler's a good one, man.
Did you run Elgato for your capture?
I actually don't use a capture anymore because I solely use PC. You can use Streamlabs to record. You can use any of that to record, so you actually don't have to.
Okay, so I can basically just keep my external captions close to my console now.
Yeah. And then you have 3 terabytes in here, so you have this 1 terabyte drive, which is where I'm gonna suggest, well, that's where I'm putting Windows. And then you put your games in there and the stuff that you use frequently. Your drive use for, like, I don't know, photos and other shit like that, that it doesn't need to be fast, you know?
Correct, yeah, all my recorded content.
Yeah.
Right, all that good stuff. We're recording particularly high settings. We're up to 2.6 gigs for this so far.
Damn, bro.
We're at this medium video quality, 720. Adam.
Alright, well, all your screws are in for the motherboard. Alright. Milestone complete, bro. Your motherboard is in your case. Almost all your internals are there. The only thing else that I really need to put in is like the graphics card and some fans, which I probably should have already done, but hey, fuck it. Hindsight's 20/20, right? Yeah. And then I am going to take the RAM out and the graphics card out before I send this, because if any of those come undone, this whole thing's fucked. Fans, they will keep this shit nice and cool, man. And I'm going to route the ketchup and mustard to the back so that way you don't have to see it. But I need to get that out of there before I go any farther. Alright, cool. Now I'll put stuff in.
We're doing three. Are we doing 2 across the top, 1 in the back, or?
Yeah. And then the 3 LED are going to be in the front, and they're fully addressable. Might have pushed just a little bit too hard there, man. It's all good though. New fans are always a pain. Alrighty. I got a little bit worried earlier today because I got a email that said that this wasn't going to be here till Monday, while way after it had already said that it was like super close to my house. So I was like, uh-oh.
It's same with my keyboard and mouse. It wasn't supposed to be here till the 20th. Showed up today.
Hell yeah.
What's up? Oh, what up, bro? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we're here. We're here 30 in stream right now. Open a rig for me.
almost there.
Blah, blah. What's that? Wait, I want to hear this. I have a dog barking. Guard dogs, gotta love them. Alright, hold on, now let's bring your volume up there. Now I can hear you a little bit better.
The bass turns in. Yeah, I was just saying, like, it was really interesting how this
This, I'm so, yeah, I'm speechless. I'm so excited. The things that will be able to be accomplished. They're really
Oh,
this What's that? Windows. Yeah, it's gonna be Windows 10%. I do like Linux, but it's so much work.
and like they say, it's not worse.
Yeah, no. Well, and for some good and for some bad too. I feel like Windows is becoming proprietary these days.
Oh, that's lovely.
All right, man.
You have OS.
All right, so it's good to go, bro. It's all in.
Oh shit.
All I gotta do is plug this connector in, and your motherboard will have power.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, and of course she's a difficult one. But there you go, bro. Okay, so your power's connected. Your fans are ran after I run this last ketchup mustard cable through here. But you won't even be able to see that one. I just routed it so it's completely out of the way. Back. Now it's just on to tedious ass cable management, basically.
I got a lot of people to thank for this.
Yeah, well, you've done a lot already, man.
Oh, this is just the beginning, boy, I'll tell you what.
Did you say what I just want to go down? Okay, so someone just said
Oh.
MSi X470.
Yeah. That's an engine.
Yeah, so if you can find a safe program out, we can make MSi
That's kind of cool.
So you got 3 consoles more.
Gonna have to check reviews on it, see how it feels.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're almost
Alrighty.
Hey, what's the only cure for cowbell? More cowbell.
I'll leave you.
Prescription cowbell. None of that cut street, you want pharmaceutical grade cowbell.
Straight from the tap, man.
Roundabout stuff, I'm sending you because you're gonna set up with this like shoot.
Alright, so I'm gonna plug in your 24 pin power connector for your motherboard.
Alright.
Get out of the way, and it goes through right here. Awesome.
Cable's going on there, but
It'll make a lot of sense here soon.
oh, I'm sure. Like, things you move it around, like, it's obviously a lot heavier than it was when, like, it was just the case.
Oh yeah.
not like gingerly juggling that motherfucker anymore.
No. Not by any means. Bro, this shit's heavy now. Please.
Do you think what?
Me?
You know what? I was watching I was watching some videos today, and it was one of them was the gaming crew, and they were just moving to a new office, and they were all just kind of hanging out there at the office, just doing their fucking work. Their server was down, so their main dude, but they were all just kind of hanging out at the office. They're like, man, look, you know, when the server's down, there's not much to do.
Hey
So,
guys, I'm gonna take a quick
seeing the
peek.
crew all there at the office. So yeah, I can get behind Slav. Like if we could all get together at some point, like yeah, the amount of stuff that we get done would be tremendous. Just have the live feed from the office going on all the time.
I was thinking about pissing it out for like an half grand in the bar, so I'm setting up that. Alright. I'm gonna do that.
But see, that would require us getting you guys here to America.
Or the other way around. I mean, we got public health care over here. We got all the things.
Legit.
Alright, I am back.
No offense. Yeah, just do whatever you can. I'll leave it.
And of course I jumped the gun and forgot to install some cables.
You're Aussie. You're like a fucking. You're like a rock star here.
It's all okay. Sorry.
Republicans like you, Democrats want to protect you. You're good.
Oh, buddy! That's all I need to do right there to be able to get that cable. So there's your SATA cable that's going to give power to everything, and then I had your PCIe cable, which is going to give power to your graphics card.
I'm looking at a be right. Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say I was looking at a be right back screen.
Yeah. So for the controller I was telling you about a minute ago, this piece in here is it's powered by this, and then also your hard drive is going to have that same connection. It's not the old freeze anymore. I still have to have some of those to power some other shit, but not a whole lot of stuff runs on that anymore.
And would there be any reason conceivable for a user like me to end up raiding drives?
I don't know. It's that's kind of personal use and opinion, and you know.
It just boils down to how much hard drive space you actually demand.
Yeah, I don't know. It really does depend, you know. I could see the benefits, but I could also see how it could be a hassle for nothing. Because that 1 terabyte NVMe drive, I think it does up to 6 gigabytes a second or something like that. Like it uses the PCIe slot, which is the same thing that your graphics card uses. So basically it's an incredibly fast slot that goes directly to your motherboard. Instead of having a bunch of cables and connections that it runs through to slow stuff down, you know, like, it's a lot more clean cut and efficient. It doesn't even require an external power source because it plugs directly into the motherboard. So you have another one of those slots if you want to do any kind of upgrading. That would probably be one of the things that you could do. They're like $89 for 1 terabyte, and I think close to 200 for 2.
Okay.
Either that or a graphics card, but I would suggest waiting about 6 months on a graphics card.
Legit. Yeah, and memory will.
Yeah. I'm going to take my phone down from there. Yeah, cable management is always the hardest part about all of this shit.
Yeah, that is definitely an art and a skill in and of itself that really isn't covered as much as some people would like.
No, yeah. I completely feel you. Ugh.
They always tell you that you, but there's not a lot of really good tips and tricks.
Well, there's not a lot of good ways to do it because every single case is different. I mean, like this one back here, in my opinion, is a hell of a lot harder to cable manage than that fractal design. The fractal design, it comes with like the Velcro strips like already installed back here, and it's got very clear wire paths with like an extra room in here. Like this is barely enough room to the 24-pin power connector. I have to like barely snake it away and hide it over here. Like there's no room in this case to wire manage, but it's okay because it's still a really nice case that has really good airflow, so it's definitely worth buying.
But yeah, that's where they, because yeah, I was looking at the stats of the case, and I was wondering if that was the smaller footprint, the smallest footprint of the mid-range.
Oh yeah, of course, always. Because I have an XL case that has a separate compartment in the back, so this area is literally about this deep in my case, and then my main compartment is the same as this, if not a little bit deeper. So my power supply just fits over here on the side, and my wires are just like, I can just spool them up and let them hang. So it really does all depend on the case, but also it depends on what you're looking for, you know? Like this is so customizable, like what's better in some aspects, you know?
I know the lab trick that you said, the cable management. No.
And then here's your 2 terabyte bare beans.
And that's our HE.
And you have the old school hard drives, which are actually still pretty thin in comparison to anything that they used to be. They're really nice.
Yeah, yeah. They used to be like 8-track tapes.
Oh yeah, horrible. Oh, it's got pins, that's cool. It doesn't use a screw system, it uses a pin system.
Yeah, the first time I got one of those, I thought it was, compared to the old HE, the HDs, the HDs, yeah. It was like a chip. I was like, what? This thing's so small.
Alright, so I'm gonna run one. And then I have got this right here. And this is gonna run through here. So that's cool, man. This thing's coming together pretty nice. For a long time, and like the only thing that you're gonna need to do, like you're gonna have to take a risk if you upgrade to a 3000 series processor. You're gonna have to flash the BIOS, but it's not too big of a risk in my opinion. But all at the same time, you can still upgrade to like a 3900 and get a 12-core processor, which is still a 2000 or yeah, a 2000 series.
I even forgot Flash and BIOS. That's something.
Yeah. There you go.
And actually, I think that's part of this. I think that's part of this particular board's onboard BIOS feature. It's got its own.
It's got into it too far because I haven't really wanted to do it yet.
Like you under the hood, like if there's one of the early on. May or may not, we'll see about upgrading the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, other little things like adding, getting another solid state drive put in, because that'll just be a bit. How much RAM do we have in there right now?
32 gigabytes.
Can we pump any more into there?
Yeah. And this, if you want to fully upgrade anything at all like that, each DIMM slot in here holds up to 128 gigs. So 128 times 4 is what you're capable of having.
What would you say would be the threshold where
You gotta.
right?
So
Like there is a point where like you just have more RAM than your computer knows what to do with it. Like
I don't know, bro. Honestly, if you wanted to do 64, that would probably be anything you're ever gonna need. Like right now, I don't even come close to being at like 20%. And I have 32 gigs, so. What is this? A USB? Yes, sir.
I think that would really be focusing on on with these graphics card. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, seriously, upgrading your RAM before your graphics card, your RAM is going to be like to upgrade to 64, but if you would just save a little bit longer and wait a little bit longer, you could possibly get the RTX 3080 or the RTX 3070. So this 3070 is $499, and so it kind of just gonna upgrade like any kind of TV, any kind of anything. This graphics card is great. 80 king, you know. You're kind of limited to 1080, like in a bad.
I'm definitely not in to get those units.
Yeah, and 4K isn't even go. That's too much. Do 1440. You can get some really good ray tracing, and it's not a behemoth on your computer. Like 4K is, bro, you're getting like 40 FPS at 4K. Like 1440p with the same setup that's getting 40 FPS on in 4K, we'll get like 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 depending on how well it is, you know, in 1440p.
Right on. Right on. Graphics, I'm not going to have to worry about cooling or anything. You said that stock unit was actually really good, yeah.
It's one of the, I think it's aimed liquid cooler or a crazy like $100 cooler.
Yep.
Might be a need to if you're gonna. Cool to see.
Yeah, yeah. What your machine ended up turning into.
Bro, I didn't start out at all. Oh, that one's over here, dude. Oh, this is audio.
Man, I don't even want to get this recording to you, man. I'm going to have to like hand deliver it.
Oh, bro, you're good. Yeah, because I have, I think I have two, so I can make a video out of it. Do some shit. I don't
Cool. Yeah, get some good screenshots from here. Yeah.
Hell yeah. this right here allows me to run our graphics card power cable directly through here and to where it goes, instead of dragging it all the way from over here. Alright, now it's time to tangle this mess. Alright, so... And then one more fan. Hello.
My daughter creeping about.
Well, creeped out I am, bud. No. So this is the pin connectors, like one of these connectors just fits on one pin, and it's so difficult sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you torque them too much, you snap them, and that's never good.
Right.
Done with that part. Starting. You have a clear CMOS
The whole
button.
thing, the whole thing looks clean, just through and through.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Here, check this shit out, man. You also have a clear CMOS button. Short-term issues, you know, like let's say you get a blue screen for some reason. Always hit that first because it's like pulling the battery out. You know, it's just easier to do.
Shit. Cool. We'll do. We'll remember.
So let's get back to the health side. Give me 1 second. I gotta go dig in my stash. Found it, man. So we're gonna use one of these. I'll do that in a second. Alright, so that's gonna go in there. It's gonna go in here. This is gonna route back up this way. So all of these and this can go. I'm gonna have to take a break for that here in just a second too, mate.
Mine's on a little inline amplifier unit, and there's no song on PC, so I would have a little unit that you toggle to the right or my hit on PC. Are you tuned in on Dirty Stream?
Yeah. I'm getting that 2 seconds away.
Alright, that's pretty decent for now. It needs just a tad bit more work, but I'm gonna plug this thing in and see if it turns on real quick.
Cool.
Goddamn, that thing's heavy now, man. So, moment of truth, here goes your graphics card.
I'm following behind in anticipation, just like a minute or two.
Well, it went successfully.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
No nervies or.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That's peace of mind.
I think the checklist is pretty close to being done for now.
Cool. This is up cool.
Alright, 1 second.
Alright.
Truth, man.
What's up?
Moment of truth, man.
Okay. Alright. Ah. This is where we need the soundboard, you know, the drum roll. Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, over here. It's working.
Oh, cool. Oh, man, how cool.
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna go do some other shit real quick. I have got to start the setup of this and get a keyboard and plugged into it real quick. So give me a couple minutes. There's a look at it for you. That fan's not spinning. I know. I'll fix it in a second.
Cool. What's that? Man, joining the I never thought I'd have an RNG set up like that. Yeah. Like have something powerful and pretty. Yeah, I've kind of become like, I started adopting your mindset relatively recently, because I don't know, just checking out some stuff on watching videos and people, basically people's setup. You know, just seeing people post pictures of their gaming station and they're like, alright dude, so you spent, you know, $900 on that, you know, system, but you couldn't trade up for $50 for a keyboard, like, shit like that. Well, yeah, I really want to put, you know, pictures of my setup out there, like that. Wow. I have a whole renovation to do to accommodate it. And I'm like, really ridiculous. Well, my current power is like a mini. It's not a micro, but it's definitely a mini. Super compact.
I'm sure it's a growing show.
You know, it's keep paces with me all the time. Like, there's some stuff you like, how are you able to do that with like your little onboard graphics and i5? Well, depending on how things go, because I have a very fickle version of Adobe. It may not be able to be installed on the system, so this may end up being like an editing machine, you know, medium there, like, you know, backup computer for the kids. But yeah, basically with everything else running on this new rig, I'll be able to do stuff in Photoshop, like, dedicate all of the memory to this editing. Yep. I won't need to do anything else. I can have all my other processes running on the other computers. Oh, yeah, and we get food tied. I'm, yeah, amazed and inspired by this, yeah, the progress we've made, the things that we've been doing. It's, You definitely come back to it like an old pro.
So, bro, this cooler is being done no justice by this camera. This cooler is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Alright. Temporary cable and temporary drive time, man.
Cool.
So this is how I do all of the setups whenever I build them, because there is no such thing as a CD drive anymore. I mean, obviously there's no place for a disk drive in here at all, you know?
Legit.
So I always just have one on the side and temporarily install one.
Okay. I should go one of those. Honestly, can't tell you the last time I actually put a disc in my shit either.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, man. I could have done this all through flash drive also, but this is just how it happened.
Legit. Yeah, because I think the USBs get quicker write times than reading off the disk. Quicker writes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no. Very seldom, very seldom that I have any discs. Like, not for any of the hardware that I've gotten recently, nothing. And even as far as, like, operating systems, Windows, shit like that, like, I've been booting all my stuff from flash drives.
Speaking of, yeah, I know, right?
Like, that's a real thing?
Yeah, I have a Windows 10 disk, and a lot of the ones that I've built recently have been using Windows 10 disks. Instead, this is how they sell them, like, mainly, and it's kind of frustrating because I want a USB, but they're more expensive and harder to find.
So is that a portable? Is that a DVD drive, or did you just hardwire that on?
It's just the old school one. This thing I've had for so fucking long, bro. I mean, like probably 10 years or more. And I've used the same one. I literally just plug it in, install everything I need to install, unplug it, and you never have to use it again.
And you just hardwired that straight onto the board as if it was an install, yeah?
Kinda, yeah.
Or did you?
I've got, and then the connector that goes to the actual motherboard itself. So it's actually like it's installed right now, but
Yeah.
there's just no way to put it in the computer.
Legit, yeah. I know they have some USB CD drives.
Yeah, I have one of those too, but this is faster.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, again, the difference we were talking about being wired to the motherboard. Yeah, having to go through other channels.
ST200
Oh,
I just saved myself $200 in the code and then got some more parts inside, but I can't use that.
hey, it will come, man. It will come.
Alright, just keep building more computers. That's the worst thing that having a fucking roof would be. It's not really a bad thing.
One second, going real quick, man.
Alright.
What is this shit called?
God, and your mic is right next to the unit, and I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, no, nothing at all, and I have music going. Alright, so I booted it, and we are going to see if Windows will take on this. I don't see why it wouldn't, but that's where we're at. If anything goes wrong, that'll be it.
Cool.
Nope, I got the Windows screen, so it's booted through BIOS, through the CD drive, and now it's loading Windows. What drive to load it to?
and I'm in awe of this.
Windows took, man. It's getting installed.
All right.
Oh, man. This went together pretty quick so far, man.
Yeah. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Say we'll have to enter you in some speed build competition.
No, man.
He's like, no.
But this case is real nice. I like it a lot. The light strip I'm considering putting right here if it'll fit hidden. Either that or I'm gonna try to hide it down in this little slot right here, but we'll see.
Alright, I will see what you're saying.
Yeah. Got real good airflow too, man.
That's good, because that's gonna, like, and right now it's a good time because we're hitting winter here in the desert, but yeah, when it gets warmer, it's gonna be good. Summertime.
This thing is
airflow.
beautiful. It's so beautiful. This camera doesn't know justice at all.
It's on. For the top.
Yeah. I mean, like,
If it's possible, yeah.
nothing.
What's that?
When the stream catches up, you'll see. I put the mic like in the computer, and I guarantee you don't hear anything.
Cool.
you go. Alright, so it is at 30% right now, getting files ready for too long after this.
Right on. And then the LED light strip, will that be independent or will that be wired into the lighting hub?
This is a different brand, so it doesn't connect to that lighting hub. It's going to connect independent to your motherboard.
Okay.
But you might be able to control it with the Mystic Light system in there. There is a controller that I don't have right now, but I have to order more, so I'll have an extra one, and I'll send that to you and you can install that. Of now, it will light up, but I don't think it's going to be controllable.
Okay. Cool. All kinds of good stuff to look forward to.
%70, man. I do have to admit, though, my favorite sticker is that one metal sticker, kind of. It's like a thin piece of. It's like a really good sticker. And then the G-Skill one is one of those like, the, what is it? The original, you know, like the name brand sticker, the little shiny one that comes like tucked up under somewhere to show that it's like the name brand.
Which one? I think I gotta wait for the stream to catch up.
The MSi sticker and then the G-Skill, they're both pretty decent. They're like reflective, so they'll catch the light, but that's even if you want to.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, may as well decorate.
Hopefully this doesn't happen, like, to you for some reason. Corsair, which is your fans, and AMD and MSi are pretty good with their drivers. But something that happened to me yesterday, I have Thermaltake fans, and Thermaltake is horrible with their drivers. So they came out with a mandatory update. I couldn't not do it, and after the fans, they don't sync anymore. So their own drivers that they just came out with don't work and broke the program that was working. So it has nothing to do with anything that I have. It's all the software's fault.
Yeah, no, that's the nature of the beast sometimes.
Yeah, it sucks, but hopefully they'll patch it soon enough, man.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Yeah, that gives me that makes me happy to hear some good feedback. Definitely.
93%.
Right on, Mustard. We can be case siblings.
The fans in the front are actually pushing more air than the fans in the back are pulling, so you're still going to have a negative pressure environment or a positive pressure environment on the inside, so it's always going to be pushing air. Dust filters will be working that way.
Cool. Cool, cool.
This is the part that everybody edits out whenever they make a case of PC building video.
You did the right thing. You just the money maker right there.
Yeah. If you guys want to stare at a different PC for a little while. Need to work on the cable management. There you go. Broken ass fans and all.
live actually. Getting there. You just moved the camera now on my.
Hell yeah, man. It finished installing and then it booted 2 times. And now it's asking me to fill out all the region information and things like that. So it's definitely coming along.
Man, your rig is. It does look like there's something on the sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Serious.
Like a zoomed out
Of a fifth element-esque. Yeah.
Gonna give this thing internet real quick.
What?
Oh, there it is. So when I had a smaller case and not as many hubs as I do for my fans, and not the same brand fans, I had to do the same thing inside of my case. You'll see in the stream here in a second, but I have a SATA connector to the old Molex, and the old Molex to a fan, a 3-pin fan, so that way it gives it power, and you can still use your fan because there's not enough fan headers on the motherboard itself by 1, so you needed 6. And there's only 5. I had the same problem too, but this is just the easy way to fix that. It's like 3 splitters, but yeah.
Yeah, it's that plug that you're looking for over there.
Hey, Tetra, check Discord.
Said what? Which file? Yeah, no sweat.
I typed everything exactly as you typed there, man.
Cool. Cool, cool. Perfect. Man, Dirty, I cannot thank you enough.
Bro, no problem, man. Happy to do it. I can't wait to get this thing in the mail. Alright, so we're at the point where it says this might take several minutes. I've filled everything out, connected it to the internet. Next I'm going to install the disk that came with the motherboard, and then I'm gonna go get the drivers for the graphics card, and we should be
Legit, then would be fully functioning, like, just ready to turn on.
yeah. What I am gonna do, I'm gonna show you on stream, so you'll see in just a second. But the graphics card I'm going to remove here. I mean, I think it's pretty simple, but I'll show you exactly how here in a second. And then the RAM also, and I'm going to put them off on the side because, like I said, if either of those come loose because somebody decides to get a little bit rough with this package, it's gonna ruin everything, you know? Alright, so another milestone's completed. Your Windows disk is officially out.
Alright.
For the longest time, I didn't know that MSI stood for MicroStar International.
No,
No.
I didn't either.
I was just like, yeah, MSI, MSI, yeah, MSI, and never once did I ever question what it stood for. Do you want Google Drive and Google Chrome, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. But no Norton, yeah? Same page?
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
And I am going to leave the product registration to you if after that.
Yep. And yeah, I have my Windows account.
It's actually an MSI account, so.
Oh, okay.
And there's an app on here which is the same thing that you'll use. It's a Live 6 updater or the MSI driver and software setup, one of the two. I'm not sure which one it is on that one. But make the account and keep your system updated all on that same thing. It's pretty easy.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
This machine's got me all gooey.
It looks real good, man. I'm happy. Your RAM lighting up is definitely something that I like a lot. It brings a whole new. It's good to see hers, because the back of her and I mean, Corsair fans, there's just something nice about the Corsair fans. They did something real good there. Here, let's stare at it from a different way. Yeah, the front of this case looks real good.
Oh yeah.
And as always, if anybody wants to be next, just hit me up. Well, I'm happy to do this. Building computers is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is a super cool build, and yeah, it's very clean, very nice. funny. I have my fan blowing behind me, and it feels like it's like I can feel the zephyr of the fans blowing in the air.
All right, now, come on, man. But no, that's funny, bro. These fans really do glow a lot, like back in here against these panels.
Yeah, like I'm here reevaluating where I can set it up where. Yeah. And reachable and functional and decorative and this isn't like my current computer that I just like stuff in the shelf. Stuff under the desk.
Bro, that fan in the middle is really fucking cool. It's all blurred.
So cool. And then be like, all the fucking hours. A lot of fans. I like those.
After I'm done with this set of drivers, I'm going to turn it off and then like button up the case and call it done.
Right on.
Because I don't need the disc anymore at all after this.
And that shot's cool. All the lights from your PC are like shining on this one.
back to building we go.
All right.
Give me one shaky minute here, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Alright, so we'll go, here it is. So this SATA power connection right here, I'm going to jack and turn it into a 2 Model X. But I'm also going to hide it down in here. And then I'm going to turn one of these Model X and a fan. And then I'm going to take this lonely fan, which is the bottom front fan, which was not spinning and it was only lighting up, and now I'm going to give it power.
Cool.
And that just tucks right there, so that way it's easy to plug, unplug and plug back in. Just to hold the sumbitch together, and it is not a perfect cable management job, but it is very good in comparison to some other things.
Legit.
You said you were watching some of those videos or something where they were like critiquing builds or some shit?
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the ones where they like really ragged on them?
Oh yeah.
I always like that kind of shit, man.
I know, I couldn't find myself being able to like click away. I was like, oh god, I don't ever want this to be me. Like, look away, look away. But nah, couldn't look away.
there you go, man.
So you're watching you got on wide management, man.
I mean, it's pretty decent.
Real tight.
It's pretty decent. I've seen some scary shit before. And of course, this is always the hardest part because the 24-pin cable. It's definitely something that you gotta work around most of the time. Connects into the bottom and then it slides tight. It's not that old school connection where it's got the 4 connectors, 1 on each spot.
you're like trying to shut the closet door on like all your winter stuff that you packed away. You know that stuff closet, you know. Trying to closing over stuff people. You got them wires tied in there tight though. I don't even remember seeing you install that LED strip.
No, I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
I gotta look up and make sure that that power strip is the right. I think that it is because. Hold on. If you look closely right there, you can see that there's a red, a white, a green, and a black. So there's only 4 wires. And these 4 wires on the side I just showed you run to these on this side. So it's just the same connector that plugs into here. And I believe that you can just plug this into the RGB LED strip on there, and it's the same thing. It's just a power connector, you know. But this doesn't look like what I'm used to. Look it up and make sure before I plug it in.
For sure.
Because if not, I mean, I'll go. I mean, it's just right down the street. I don't care, you know, no big deal. But like, I just don't want to fuck shit up. But that pretty much wraps it up for tonight. I've got this thing done except for the LED strip, and then I need to install, I'm just going to put malware bytes on it just to keep it safe for now. You can put whatever on it unless you want me to.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here on the stream. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm glad to get this done. And
I'm super happy to have watched it. Like, this is, I've watched it to, been able to kind of be along for all of it. Like, dude, this has been, oh man, so cool, Dirty. This is one of the coolest streams ever.
It's fun, man. I'm really happy that we got to do this too.
Fucking A, man. Well, yeah, you get yourself some rest and some more manana, man.
Definitely cool. You guys have a great night. I gotta plug my mouse back in. I'm a fucking idiot.
And everyone that tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in and tagging along with us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long haul. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good